we're going to do this and that thing. And the guy, this older guy, said, you know what? We don't have the resources to do everything. And in a lot of cases, there's just only so much that we, each of us can't do. And there's only so much I can ask people to do. So, if necessary, I'll be the jerk. I'll be, the jerk of a boss that, is hard for these guys to relate to and deal with. And what's going to happen is that it's going to band these guys together. It's going to make them work together. And, they're going to rely on each other, and they're going to work, because it'll also remove the squabbling amongst themselves is the other thing. So, and that's actually even a military way to go about it. And that's because of watch a program called Escape to the Legion. And my dad and I were watching it the other day, and I was pointing out things to him. I said, what you're seeing is this, the guy who's drilling him, he's trying to drive this one guy out. But it's or he's trying to make the guy work harder, and he's also trying to teach leadership to these guys. Because the other thing is that they kept teaching, like, if you guys stick together and you don't bail on each other, if you don't, wimp out on whatever challenge, and you really drag the guy along who's the weakest link, it makes you stronger because it makes you a unit. And that's what makes, the French Legionnaires such an effective force, is that, they're tenacious and they're strong, and they have a very strong group mentality. They really can rely on each other. So yeah, that's how you really train an effective group. And then you can also see this with CBS show The Unit. Because the thing about The Unit is that you see these guys doing all these different things, and sometimes they even kind of do stuff with each other, and that is they try to find stuff. They try to find, like, and this is what I thought was interesting, was they had this thing, they wanted to show, the story was, this one guy wanted to propose to his girl, and he said, the first place we went to a date was a theme restaurant for the 70s, and if we could recreate that, it would so work. And he even told them what kind of ring to get. It's like, okay, so they got a ring, and then and this is the neat thing. This is how they figured out what ring to get her. One of the operators goes with the girl to a ring store, and they're picking out rings. And he's like, yeah, I'm really thinking about getting her a ring. Can you help me? And then he's just nonchalantly talking to her about wedding rings. And then, she says, oh, I would love this one. I would like to wear this one, kind of thing. And they're like, okay. So he keeps that in mind, and he comes back later and grabs that ring. He basically just, milked the information out of her, just like carrying on a normal conversation. And then it was like, all right, well, they recreated their little trailer into a 70s themed thing. So they got costumes, they got some props, and it was like, well, where can we find this stuff? And that's the other thing that the guy participated in. And that's, that's the other aspect about, just an operator, is that these guys really, they practice this stuff. Because think about it, if you're out wherever and you need some item, well, you got to find it, right? So go freaking find it. Best way to find something, or best way to learn to find stuff, well, find other stuff. Just keep practicing. That's skill. How do you get information out of people? Talk to them. People will reveal anything if you talk to them long enough, and about anything. It can be nonchalant. And that's that was even done a little bit in this week's 24. Let's see. So anyway, I get on that tangent. But that's something to consider for, and that's why. That's something to consider for your own life. If there's a certain skill which you wish you were better at, or some kind of skill you wish you had, and you try it once and you fail at it, or you try it once and you don't do so well at it, well, you have to try it again. You have to keep trying it, and eventually you're going to get better at it. And I'd say it's kind of like with a video game. Video games, if you keep doing something over and over again, you get better at it. So that's why video games got into that system, because they realize, well, it's more realistic, and they also, it keeps people more interested in playing, because they realize, oh, this is a skill I need to perfect. And so that's just like anything else. So if you want to get better at talking to people, talk to more people. If you want to get better at scoring with girls, talk to more girls. You want to get better at, doing this or that. You have to do it more. You have to do it, and you have to keep doing it, even if you fail. So.